A production supervisor begins the day with a clear plan. Within the first hour, however, several alerts appear. One machine reports a possible failure, material delivery is delayed, production is below target, and quality indicators show unusual variation. Then the messages begin. Which order should receive priority? Should maintenance stop the machine? Can the deviation be accepted temporarily? Who should be reassigned? Which customer should be contacted? By midday, the supervisor has already made dozens of decisions. Some are important. Others should never have required management attention. As the day continues, concentration decreases, judgment becomes less consistent, and even simple choices begin to feel difficult. This is decision fatigue. It occurs when the mental effort required by repeated decisions reduces a person's ability to evaluate information and choose effectively. In modern organizations, employees are surrounded by dashboards, notifications, priorities, meetings, messages, and constant requests for approval. More information was supposed to improve control. Instead, many processes have created too many decisions. The result can be slower responses, inconsistent choices, avoidable errors, and declining process performance. In this video, we will explore how decision fatigue affects operational excellence and how Lean Six Sigma can reduce unnecessary cognitive pressure. If you are interested in the connection between human behavior, artificial intelligence, and process improvement, subscribe to the Lean Six Sigma channel and join us throughout this series. A decision does not need to be complex to consume mental energy. Every choice requires attention. Which email should be answered first? Is this deviation significant? Should the team continue production? Which indicator deserves immediate action? When these choices accumulate, people begin using mental shortcuts. They may select the easiest option, repeat the previous decision, postpone action, or follow the opinion of another person without examining the evidence carefully. This does not mean that employees are lazy or unqualified. It means human attention is limited. Decision fatigue becomes dangerous when an organization depends on employees to compensate for unclear processes. If priorities change constantly, people must repeatedly decide what matters most. If standards are incomplete, operators must interpret the correct method. If responsibilities are unclear, employees must decide who should respond. If dashboards display too many indicators, managers must determine which signal deserves attention. Each uncertainty transfers part of the process design into the mind of the employee. Over time, this mental workload produces variation. Two people facing the same situation may make different decisions. The same manager may also make different choices depending on workload, pressure, and time of day. A process cannot remain stable when every routine situation requires fresh interpretation. Organizations often believe that additional data automatically produces better decisions. They create dashboards containing dozens of indicators, send alerts for every deviation, and distribute reports to increasingly large groups. But information has value only when people can interpret and use it. Imagine a control room where every small fluctuation creates an alert. At first, employees respond carefully. But when alerts appear continuously, many of them require no action. Eventually, the team begins to ignore the system. This is alert fatigue. The important signal becomes difficult to distinguish from background noise. The same problem occurs with performance indicators. If a manager is responsible for 50 metrics, which ones truly represent process health? Which require immediate action? Which are only descriptive? A crowded dashboard can create the appearance of control while making priorities less visible. Lean Six Sigma professionals must therefore distinguish between available data and actionable information. A useful indicator should connect to a decision. It should help someone recognize a condition, understand its importance, and know what response is expected. If no action changes because an indicator exists, the organization should question why it is being monitored. More data does not always reduce uncertainty. Sometimes it simply creates more things to evaluate. Decision fatigue affects process performance in several ways. The first is delay. When people face too many options or conflicting priorities, they may postpone decisions. Work waits for confirmation, approvals accumulate, and lead time increases. The second consequence is inconsistency. One supervisor may stop a process after a warning, while another continues production under the same condition. Without clear decision criteria, personal judgment becomes a major source of process variation. The third consequence is poor prioritization. Urgent requests attract attention even when they are not strategically important. Employees spend the day responding to messages and alerts while preventive activities remain unfinished. Decision fatigue can also increase risk. After evaluating many routine issues, a manager may not have enough attention available when a truly critical decision appears. Finally, it affects improvement. Employees experiencing constant cognitive overload have less capacity to investigate causes, question routines, and design better solutions. They become trapped in reaction mode. If this situation sounds familiar, leave a comment and tell us where decision overload appears most often in your organization. Is it inside dashboards, emails, approval processes, meetings, or changing priorities? And if this topic is useful, give the video a like. It helps the channel bring this discussion to more improvement professionals. Standardization is sometimes criticized as a restriction on human judgment. In reality, good standards protect human attention. A standard defines the best-known method for routine work. It clarifies what should happen under normal conditions and identifies when escalation is necessary. Without standards, employees must reinvent the process every day. A useful standard does not attempt to control every possible situation. It separates routine decisions from exceptional ones. For example, an operator may have clear parameters defining when to continue production, when to adjust the process, and when to stop and request support. A purchasing employee may have authorization to approve low-risk requests within defined limits. A customer service team may use clear criteria for common resolutions while escalating unusual cases. Visual management also reduces decision fatigue. Instead of asking people to interpret a complex dashboard, the system should make abnormal conditions visible and show what response is expected. This is the purpose of a reaction plan. When a relevant condition occurs, employees should not need to begin a meeting to decide who is responsible, which information is required, and what the first action should be. Standardization removes unnecessary choices so that human judgment remains available for situations that genuinely require it. Reducing decision fatigue also requires better priority management. If everything is urgent, nothing is truly prioritized. Leaders must define a limited number of operational objectives and explain how conflicts should be resolved. Should safety take priority over production? Should quality take priority over delivery speed? Under what conditions can a schedule be changed? These principles should be established before a crisis occurs. Alerts must also be designed carefully. An alert should indicate a meaningful change, reach the correct person, and connect to a clear response. If a notification requires no action, it probably should not interrupt someone. Artificial intelligence can help by filtering signals, detecting patterns, and ranking risks. However, poorly designed AI can generate even more recommendations, alerts, and decisions. The objective is not to inform employees about everything happening in the process. It is to direct attention toward the few conditions that genuinely require human judgment. Leaders should periodically review dashboards, reports, meetings, and approvals. Which decisions occur repeatedly? Which can be standardized? Which can be delegated? Which no longer need to exist? This review can release significant organizational capacity without asking people to work harder. Decision fatigue is not only a personal productivity problem. It is a process design problem. When employees face excessive alerts, unclear standards, conflicting priorities, and repeated approvals, the organization is consuming a limited resource: human attention. Lean Six Sigma can help protect that resource. Standardization reduces routine uncertainty. Visual management highlights meaningful abnormalities. Clear responsibilities reduce unnecessary escalation. Better indicators connect data to action. Technology and artificial intelligence should support this system by filtering information and identifying risk, not by overwhelming people with additional signals. The goal is not to eliminate human decision-making. It is to reserve human judgment for decisions where experience, context, ethics, and creativity actually matter. In the next video, we will examine a provocative idea: why small wins can sometimes damage long-term continuous improvement. A quick improvement may look positive while distracting the organization from deeper structural problems. Before you leave, subscribe to the Lean Six Sigma channel, give this video a like, and share it with a colleague who is constantly surrounded by alerts, reports, and changing priorities. Then answer this question in the comments. Which recurring decision should your process no longer require people to make? Better performance does not always require more information or more choices. Sometimes it begins by removing decisions that should never have existed.